So you're thinking about moving to Hendersonville, Tennessee. Well, this is where we are, city by the lake. But in this video, we're going to talk about the pro and the con about Hendersonville, so you can get a better understanding at least what Hendersonville has to offer or doesn't have to offer. So that being said, let's get after it right now. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Nashville or surrounding areas, then hit the subscribe button, tap the bell for notification so you can be the first to know about the current market in Nashville. My name is Indro, and my team and I, we get daily calls from people like you who are looking to make their move to Nashville, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, just give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Happy to help you make a smooth move to Nashville. So as I mentioned, we are going to talk about the pro and the con in Hendersonville. And Amy is going to help me with discussing those pro and cons. And I think everybody wants to hear the bad stuff first, right?
We've kind of argued a little bit about this because, I mean, maybe some people want to hear the negatives first, but maybe a few sprinkle of positives. But I think we're not going to have a problem here because the truth of the matter is the list is pretty slim and short with Hendersonville.
I know. It was so hard to come up actually with a lot of cons, and we don't want to sound biased, but I think it's just a fact.
Right. And neither one of us actually live in Hendersonville.
Nope.
We're both Nashvillians, but this is not where we've landed. But it's been fun. So,
Absolutely.
and we're excited to show you more today. But like you said, we're going to hit up some pros and cons. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about what we did manage to come up with as far as some cons.
Yeah, I would say, con number one maybe is traffic. Hendersonville is actually about 20 miles from Nashville, but you can get to Nashville in either 25 minutes or sometimes 40 minutes. So depending on traffic, so that would be a little bit of a, let's say, a con at least. Because, sometimes, especially during rush hour, there's only like one main access to Hendersonville from Nashville, which is I-65, and that one can get pretty congested.
Right. But as most people know, traffic is, pretty normal around the Nashville area.
Another con is, of course, if you're somebody who loves living by the lake, you love to be near water, is if you really are looking for a home that is actually on the water, like a lakefront home, you're going to pay a premium for this. And it's funny because we've seen properties literally on one street, and let's say the homes that are on the side that are on the lake, they are up to $1 million plus. And if you just go across the street, it's probably half of the price.
Right. But for most people who know water, which this is Old Hickory Lake, that's what's behind us. There's 3 marinas out here, and we're at one of them. And, at the same time, there is a lot of opportunity for you to be near water. And so while being on the water comes with a premium, the great thing is that access to water is here in Hendersonville. So leave it to me to want to pull a pro out of that. But kind of our last con really, and this is something we've just kind of started discussing ourselves, is that lots of people that come to Nashville think about kind of the coolest and hippest and kind of a little bit more upscale opportunity, as far as restaurants and bars and different things like that. And Hendersonville definitely has some cool things. And but Hendersonville's also known for being a more historic town and being more of the countryside and beautiful. And, there's kind of a little bit of a lacking of that hipper, more opportunity for some of that upscale. Not that there's not some of that out here, but certainly that's not what Hendersonville, would be the draw for. So that'd be kind of the only other con I could think of.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think indeed Hendersonville, if you compare it to, the other bigger cities around Nashville, like Nashville itself, of course, but Murfreesboro or Franklin, Brentwood.
Yes.
It does has a lot of pros actually.
Yeah.
And definitely like you mentioned, like the lake access, which is pretty unique, pretty great. And I would say as well is actually the affordability, because if you would compare it to the bigger cities or the other cities around Nashville, like a Franklin, Brentwood, even Mount Juliet, the city that is between the lakes instead of by the lake, definitely in Hendersonville you will get the most bang for your buck.
Right, which is probably the number one pro. is going to be the affordability. So when people are thinking about livability, right, affordability is usually up there at the top, and that's definitely one of the pros. And obviously that accessibility not only to the water, but to the other places. I mean, Murfreesboro and Nashville are not far, and so if you want all of that and the extra big things going on, you can certainly get access to that. Another one of the big pros of Hendersonville is their crime rate. It scores like in the A's, right? So there's usually like an A plus, B. And actually, if you were to look up livability and look at all the different categories, education, crime, travel, all these different things, they're all A's. All of them are either A's or A pluses. And so I like to mention the crime thing. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, so.
No, I mean, I agree. And especially like, a lot of families that are looking to move towards Middle Tennessee around the Nashville area, like education is really important.
Yes.
And this is, of course, what, Wilson County has to offer, and especially like living here.
Well, this is Sumner County. That's okay. But I'm in Wilson County. So listen, that's great though, because that comparison is a great one. So actually, when we work with clients, a lot of my California clients, for example, they look at Sumner County and Wilson County because these are probably two of the best areas when it comes to schools. And so that's why we ultimately chose to move to Wilson County. Hendersonville is part of Sumner County, and we've actually debated on whether or not we would move to Hendersonville. If we were going to leave Wilson County, this is where it would be. So not only do they have great schools, but there's also private education opportunities out here. There's a lot of really great schools. So that's definitely an A plus for Hendersonville and Sumner County out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's according to niche.com rated as the #1 city to live in Sumner County. So, that kind of like, gives us a better understanding why it has a lot of pros.
Yep. So, yeah, and then, as you'll see, we're going to be headed out to some properties today, and so you'll probably hear us talk about and sprinkle through some of the pros of properties and things that you can get here in Hendersonville, and we're certainly excited to share the 3 properties that we picked out. Of course, our goal is always to try to give you something on the lower end, mid end, and high end of what you can find in Hendersonville. And so, yeah, we kind of started out here near the water.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that you're kind of giving a teaser or something about what we're going to encourage you to stay on the video long enough to get.
Absolutely, and that's why you definitely want to check out our full vlog tour we're going to do about Hendersonville, because it is pretty awesome.
Yes, so we look forward to sharing more with you about properties and the water and maybe a few other fun things.
Yeah, absolutely. But actually, before we end this video about the pros and cons, there's definitely one pro that I do believe for Hendersonville, because Hendersonville is growing so fast, like on an economic level, and which is really cool because, Hendersonville is known for, music, country artists like as a Johnny Cash, like a Roy Orbison, Taylor Swift, being here.
Kelly Clarkson.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Too many.
Yep.
So another cool thing is that Music City Studios is going to build a music and entertainment campus, which will be probably on a 47 plus acres development. And the cool thing about that is it will host a lot of opportunities for the music, film industry, as well. It will create in the next 5 years up to 800 jobs. Now, that is definitely something awesome about Hendersonville.
I just feel like it's like Easter. Like this is like an egg and we've just opened it up for you, and that's like a surprise. So maybe you didn't know that about Hendersonville.
Yeah, absolutely.
I certainly learned that from this guy doing some research on it. So certainly a plus.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for watching, guys. And like I said, if you have any questions, just drop a comment below. Happy to answer those comments for you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Follow us along.